Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to do a comparison video. I have two ultra affordable watches that look a lot like a G-Shock Square. And rather than review each one individually, I thought it would just be easier if I just do a comparison between the two, because they're all about the same price and about the same size. So let's go over the different features of them. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Addis Dive AD 2099. I just reviewed this watch. If you haven't seen the review yet, be sure to check it out. And Grogo's wearing my Invicta 306027. Grogo said that when Master Skywalker was preparing to cut his sister's clone warts off of her nose with his lightsaber, he brought out his helmet with a blast shield. Princess Leia asked him if that is so he will let the Force guide him because the eyes can deceive. He said no, it was for Han Solo because he isn't going to want to see this. All right, let's take a look at the watches here. On the left here, we have the Activa ACW424, and it comes in a box. And the box says Invicta, not Activa, because Activa is a sub-brand of Invicta, and I ordered this from the Invicta website. And one of my Activas came in an Activa box, but this one did not, so I guess it don't really matter. And on the right here, we have the SKMEI 1628, and this does not come in a box. In fact, if you go to the ad in AliExpress, it says, if you want a watch in a box, then buy a watch in a box. So that's kind of a little snarky, cheeky thing for them to say, but oh well. But here they are. A basic G-Shock 5600 Square is $60 and built like a tank. So what happens if you like the look of a 5600 but don't need 200 meters of water resistance or all of that survivability? Here are two watches currently under $10. So let's give them a look. This was $6.94 when I bought it, and it's currently $7.90. But it's $5 shipping if you don't spend $100 on the Invicta website. This SKMEI here, I paid $7.75, and it's currently $6.96. And it's $1.99 shipping unless you spend at least $10. This Activa here comes in black, blue, or gray if you want solid colors, or you can have clear with blue, green, or red dials. This SKMEI comes in black, blue, or olive green if you want solid colors. You have a choice of positive or negative display with the black or the green. If you want camouflage, there's blue, green, or gray, and they only come with a positive display. The dimensions are about the same. The Activa is 44.6 millimeters wide if you measure at the ears, and the SKMEI is 44.1, so half a millimeter difference. And the bezel, the Activa is 38.3 wide, and the SKMEI is 37.9. Once again, about half a millimeter, that's it. Then the lug width too, the lug to lug, 48.7, 48.9, almost identical. And the biggest difference though is the thickness. The Activa is 13.7 and the SKMEI is 12.8. So there is a good millimeter difference there. They both have 26 millimeter straps that taper down to 19 at the buckle. And the Activa is 40 gram and the SKMEI is 43 grams. So once again, the dimensions are almost identical. Then the cases, the Activa is made of a non-specific plastic. It just says plastic. I don't know exactly what kind. And the SKMEI is made of plastic too, but it specifies ABS plastic. Then if you look at the displays, the Activa, the display looks to be a little bit bigger and a little bit bolder. But other than that, they're very similar. But when it comes to features, there's a big difference. Let's go over the Activa features first. We got the time. We got a stopwatch, we got an alarm, and then we have set mode, and that is it. But on the SKMEI, we have the time, we have an alarm, we have a second time, we have a countdown timer, we have a stopwatch. So we have a few more features here. But when you go to set the Activa, you can actually set a 24-hour mode, but the SKMEI does not have a 24-hour mode. And the Activa, though, when you set it, you have to set the 24-hour mode and when you're setting the time, and there's no toggle. And one nice thing, though, about the SKMEI is you set the year. So it's an actual perpetual calendar, where this Activa, you have to set the day of the week manually because you don't set the year. So that means you're going to have to deal with leap year. So this is not a perpetual calendar. Then also, too, when you look at the display of the Activa, it says, if you look at this, some of the labeling there, it doesn't match. Like if you're in the stopwatch here, it says the start and the stop is here, but it's not. The start and the stop is up here. And see, that says split and reset, but the split and reset is this button. So the labeling is wrong. But you don't have any of this mislabeling here on the SKMEI. Then when it comes to the case backs, they're about identical. They look the same. And they're both held down by 4 little tiny Phillips head screws. Pretty typical of watches like this. Then the straps, they look very similar. But this SKMEI has breathing holes that look like notches on the buckle side. And the Activa does not. Also, the Activa strap, it says it's a combination plastic and silicone. And this SKMEI is polyurethane. And the SKMEI, the strap just feels a little bit softer, a little bit more flexible, not as stiff. So it's a little bit more comfortable. Buckles are about the same. Keepers are about the same. Here's the Activa on my 7.5-inch wrist. And I have 4 notches left. And it's comfortable, it's light, looks nice. No problems with it as far as the looks department. And here's the SKMEI on my 7.5-inch wrist. And once again, I have 4 notches left. And it looks nice. And the dimensions are almost identical. Let's take a look at the backlights. We'll start with the Activa. The Activa is very bright, and as you can see, my camera is having difficulty with it due to the brightness. I have to tilt it just right so you can see it, but you can see it just fine with your naked eye. But as you can see, it keeps a positive display when the backlight is on. Here is the SKMEI, and it's not quite as bright, so my camera is doing a bit better with it. As you can see, the backlight turns everything green and also makes the display look negative instead of positive. This makes it a little bit easier to read than the Activa. What does the Activa do better than the SKMEI? Well, it comes in a box, has a bigger, bolder display, and it does have a 24-hour mode. What does the SKMEI do better than the Activa? It has a softer, more comfortable material. It has more water resistance. This has 50 and this has 30. I forgot to mention that earlier. It has a perpetual calendar. You set the year so it deals with leap year and you don't have to set the day of the week. It has 2 times and a countdown timer. The backlight is a little bit more even and not as bright, so a bit easier to read. There's no mislabeling on the dial, and the strap isn't as stiff. And what's about the same? The price, the size, the wearability, and the case backs. So there you have it. So unless you just have to have 24-hour mode, the SKMEI is clearly a better watch. Well, thank you for watching my comparison video of the Activa ACW424 and the SKMEI 1628. And I will be back with a review, probably that Invicta that Grogu's wearing. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like either one of these watches, I left links. The Activa link, I do not have an affiliate link, but that's where you can get it. And the SKMEI, you can get it from AliExpress, and I do have an affiliate link. And I'd like to thank my Members Choice members. There you are. Last time I checked, there was 9 of you. And I put the Members Choice watch up for sale. And at the time of this video, shooting it, somebody is interested in it, and he's supposed to come over today and get it. So I might have had that sold already. And so I will be putting up a new Members Choice vote fairly soon. Bye.